Hey guys, welcome back. Today we got something unusual for you guys. Something you probably haven't seen before. A bucket view from a Komatsu WA600-8 front-end loader. But before we jump into the action, let's go over a few specs on the machine and show you what we're going to be doing today. Alright, let's start with the bucket first. Then we'll do a quick walk around of the machine. As you can see, this thing is big. Bucket capacity is around 8 to 10 cubic yards, or 6 to 8 cubic meters. And in a single pass, it can carry somewhere around 12 to 18 tons of material, depending on the density and structure. It's around 40 feet long, 15 feet tall, and about 12.5 feet wide. And it comes in 3 main versions designed for different kinds of work. The quarry version is built for loading blasted rock into haul trucks. The load and carry version has a reinforced rear frame, making it capable of carrying and transporting heavier loads, often crushers. And then there's the stone handler version, fully reinforced front and rear, built to handle massive stone blocks like marble and granite, weighing over 40 tons with no problem. And today we're supposed to move that material from over there all the way over here and dump it over the edge. I'll show you exactly where in just a sec. And this is the spot right here, and it looks absolutely amazing. Kind of sad knowing this whole piece of nature is eventually going to get buried all the way down to the lake. All right, let's get back to the machine and talk about a few more interesting things about it. And I'd like you guys to stick around until the end of the video, because you're gonna see something that happened to me later on. Something I pretty much knew was coming. All right, back to the loader. The WA600-8 falls into the smaller group of Komatsu loaders. After the WA600 comes the WA700, then the 800, 900, and all the way up to the massive WE2350. Its main competitors on the global market are the Volvo L350H and the Cat 988K. Now let's hop into the cab and see what it looks like from the operator's seat. As you can see, it offers easy access for maintenance and servicing, and getting on and off the machine is nice and easy too. As you can see, the low-noise design cab is nice and comfy. An air ride heated seat allows the operator to work with ease and stay comfortable throughout those long shifts. The display gives the operator all the important information in one place: payload, fuel level, engine and hydraulic temperatures, transmission data, service information, and pretty much everything else needed to keep this beast running. Rear view monitor, probably the most useful thing in the cab when you're working in tight spaces. You've also got all kinds of switches like throttle lock, lights, differential lock. The radio and air conditioning come standard as well. One thing I definitely consider a downside is the side mirrors. For a machine this big, they're surprisingly small. But alright, enough talking. Let's get to work so you can see what this looks like from the bucket's point of view. I gotta mention one thing though. The bucket is squeaking pretty badly, and I apologize for that. You can't really hear it from inside the cab, but where I mounted the camera, it sounds absolutely terrible. Especially when I lower the bucket to unload the material. It sounds like some kind of monster straight out of a horror movie. And one more thing, I wasn't filling the bucket all the way to the top because there was always a risk of a rock hitting my camera. Well, as you'll see later, that's exactly what happened. But first, let's take a look at this amazing view, something you've probably never seen before. And I almost forgot to mention the most important thing about this machine, the engine. The WA600-8 is powered by a 6-cylinder Komatsu SAA 6D 170E-7 diesel engine, putting out 530 horsepower at 1800 RPM. All that power is sent through a 4-speed full power shift automatic transmission, allowing the machine to reach speeds of up to 21 miles per hour, or 34 kilometers per hour. On top of that, the WA600-8 weighs as much as 126,000 pounds, or about 57 tons, and carries a fuel tank with a capacity of 190 gallons, or 718 liters of diesel. Now that's a lot of machine. See that? See how that rock rolled right back? That's what I was worried about the most. And this was a real challenge. I somehow had to pick up that big rock, and I was doing it as carefully as possible. Every wrong move, every unnecessary movement was basically like, say goodbye to the camera. This load was tricky too. I couldn't curl the bucket back far enough to properly get the material all the way into the bucket, so I had to carry that rock like this. It was literally sitting on the teeth. And somehow it stayed there the whole time. And this was the last load. That rock right there hit my camera clamp and broke it, and the camera ended up falling right between the rocks and the inside of the bucket. There was no way I could pull it out. And this is exactly where the camera was mounted. You can see that the whole part of the clamp where the camera was attached is completely gone. What pissed me off the most wasn't even the camera getting smashed. What really got me was the battery. The damn thing died and shut off literally 10 seconds before the rock hit it. Man, I was like, fuck no. The most interesting part of the whole video never got recorded. You can see the clamp is totally wasted. There's nothing I can do with it anymore. If you're wondering where the camera is, well, I had to spread the material out of the bucket, hoping it would be easier to find. But at the same time, I was worried that if I spread everything out, another rock might land on it and smash it for good. That stupid rock. I spent damn near 20 minutes looking for that camera and all those rocks. I was flipping rocks over, moving stuff around, and at one point, I had already said goodbye to it. Truth is, I didn't really care about the camera itself. What would have really sucked was losing all the footage I shot over the last 10 days. I hadn't even copied that stuff over to my computer yet. And then, out of nowhere, I spotted it sitting right at the end of the material I had spread out. Man, I was happy as hell. Just look at the shape this thing is in. Now, let's see if it still works. And would you look at that? It works like it's brand new. But that battery icon, man, if only it had lasted one more minute. But hey, it is what it is. The important thing is I found the camera, and somehow it still works. And look at the lens. It barely even got touched. I honestly have no idea how the most sensitive part of the camera managed to survive without a scratch. That's nothing short of a miracle right there. Well guys, if you enjoyed the video, drop a like and support us so we can keep growing even more. Until next time, stay safe out there.